Hey Team 6-1, we're ready for our next video in our energy series, and this one is on light energy. So by the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of light energy. There are different types of light energy, and there's different things that can happen with this light energy. And I'll know that you've got it as demonstrated in the notes of your interactive notebook. So just like before, you need the reading, as you see there on the left, light energy, and then our page that will be our interactive part on the right. All right, light energy. If you observe the room around you, you will see objects. Books, pictures, posters on the wall, pens, pencils, etc. It would not be possible to see these objects without light. You are actually seeing light bouncing off those objects. You can see objects only if they reflect light or produce it themselves. Light energy is a type of energy produced by the vibration of electrically charged particles. Light travels in the form of electromagnetic waves. These waves are classified by wavelengths on the electromagnetic spectrum. The shorter the wavelength, the higher the frequency of the wave. The only part of the electromagnetic spectrum that you can see with your eyes is the visible light, which includes all the colors of the rainbow. Three things can happen to light when it hits the surface of matter. The light can be reflected by the matter. It can pass through the matter, or it can be absorbed by the matter. If you shine light on a surface, some of that light will bounce off in a process called reflection. Light will always be reflected by a surface at the same angle at which it hits the surface. There are two types of reflections: specular reflection and diffuse reflection. Specular reflection is a reflection from a smooth surface, like a mirror. All light rays are reflected at the same angle. In contrast, diffuse reflection is a reflection of light from a rough surface. Those rough surfaces are actually made of many small, smooth surfaces positioned at different angles. So when light shines on a rough surface, such as a concrete wall, light rays get reflected at many different angles. In other situations, light passes through matter. This is called transmission. For example, light can pass through air, water, and glass very easily. Light always travels in straight lines. However, when it passes from one medium to another, from air to water, for example, light changes direction slightly. This is called refraction. This can be seen when you put a spoon in a glass of water. When you do this, the spoon looks like it's cut into two pieces. This is because light travels at different speeds through different materials. Some objects absorb the light. Objects get their color from selective absorption. For example, a pear looks green because it absorbs all colors of light except green. Green light gets reflected to our eyes. Amazing. All right, so you're going to take a look at the pieces that you need to cut out. You're going to have a lot of different pieces, so you might want to watch some more of the video before you start cutting. But I'm going to try and explain those anyway. You're going to cut out that title, electromagnetic spectrum, all by itself. Then those boxes, you're going to cut those out. But that's going to be one piece. And then those words that have the dotted lines around them, you're going to cut out all of those pieces because these are the different types of light, and you're going to be gluing them on those boxes underneath that electromagnetic spectrum. Then you're going to cut out what happens when light hits a surface. You're going to cut that out in one piece. And those three things that can happen are reflection, refraction, and absorption. So you're going to cut out those boxes. Notice that they have the little piece on the left-hand side of each one, and that's because those are going to be flaps. And then you're going to cut out the dotted part for your writing. So I know that's hard to understand, so here's an example. This is what it will look like in your interactive notebook. And you're going to glue these onto pages 56 and 57 side by side, with the reading on page 56, and then your part goes into page 57. So notice at the very, very top of the page, we have on the left-hand side, it's light energy, and then how waves are classified, and that's through the electromagnetic spectrum. So if you want to kind of highlight that. On the right-hand side, for your notebook, the electromagnetic spectrum, and then that piece with all the rectangles on it, radio waves needs to be glued down first. In the next box, we have microwaves. In the third box, infrared rays. In the middle box, the fourth box, is visible light, and that's what we see. And remember, we see colors of the rainbow, so that's why it's colored the rainbow. And then we have ultraviolet light, and X-rays, and gamma rays. And you can go ahead and draw the little waves going up and down. Okay, and then draw a straight line, decreasing wavelength plus increasing frequency. Alright, in the middle, where it looks like it's in the middle, is what happens when light hits a surface. So you'll have these three tabs, and they should open up. So we have reflection, refraction, absorption. I'll give you that piece of information and in just a little bit. And then, of course, you're writing at the bottom. There's a closer view of what you should have already. All right. Underneath reflection. Reflection, like a mirror, light will always be reflected by the surface at the same angle it hits. Behind refraction. Remember, this is when I read about the spoon in a glass, so you can see that little tab there. As we open it up, the spoon is in a glass, and it looks like the spoon has been cut. Has it really? No, it's just because that's what happens when light hits different surfaces. So light passing from one medium to another changes directions. And the last one, objects absorb light in various colors. Whichever color the object does not absorb is what we see. And again, feel free to pause so that you can write those things down. For your writing, using your new knowledge of light energy, explain what light is and how we see visible objects. Light is a form of energy produced by the vibration of electrically charged particles and travels in electromagnetic waves. We see only waves in visible light. Light is reflected off surfaces for our eyes to see. Objects absorb light, and we see whatever color light is not absorbed. Again, here's a final look at what your notebook should look like. And as you've heard before, thank you to Jay Smith in creating this bundle. I have just taken her work and created a video for you so that you can put this in your interactive notebook and work at your own pace. So, thanks for listening, Red Hawks. Go Hawks!